Warm greetings from the high 10. It's everyday shenanigans. I could not go to sleep because I had some things bothering me from the last live, and I was not going to rest until I found what I was looking for to debunk anything that said theory that didn't sound right or sit well with me. Some of you have pondered in the chat that perhaps the footage of the child in the back seat of the car, van, truck, whatever, is old content. Well, I went and found that said video off of someone else's channel, and I'm going to debunk that theory because Candy was wearing summertime clothes in that said truck when someone else was filming the child in the back seat of the truck. And no way I'm going to believe you're wearing a tank top and shorts and your child is wearing pants and a zip-up jacket to the neck if it was indeed cold outside. I also have found a video that I had not seen yet of Sheriff Lawson saying that they were looking for evidence. I don't know if he meant to say this, but if he didn't, he slipped up. And I now have the proof of the search from 3 weeks ago. I will be playing you 4 different audios to prove that this was an orchestrated plan to get rid of a child on June 15th, and that I do believe Boy H was used as bait and an alibi. And you can go to my community page for all 4 videos and decide for yourself if I'm right on the money, close to it, whichsoever. But I wasn't going to rest until I found what I needed to find after I did my last live. I want to thank you all for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. And another theory is pertaining to the last time Summer Wells attended church. I had never heard of the last time that she attended church, if it was days beforehand, if it was a week beforehand, a month beforehand. I do have audio from the news, a news video stating that they have a video of her in church a month before her disappearance. What I find interesting about this is if she was going to church every Sunday, because I don't know if she did attend church every Sunday, why is this the only video from a month ago? If she was attending church days before, wouldn't the church have had that service recorded? So what happened in the 1 month that she did not attend church? Is it because the parents didn't want to go to church? What was up with that? Because I find that very interesting. And when you go into this said video, all these videos are in my community, on my community page. Summer Wells is wearing a navy flannel shirt with pink pants. When you look at the video from afar, if you did not know Summer Wells, you would assume that was a boy child with the short hair. The only thing that would identify her as a female are the pink pants. I think most of you know where I'm going with this. There is something very off with the attire of her, even at church. And the fact that some of you in the chat were saying that you believe that at the swimming hole, that wasn't Summer. That was her younger brother at the swimming hole. I don't know if I would agree with that, only because that means H didn't recognize Summer as Summer. But then maybe the person said that because in that commentary, H says it was Josie and Wyatt that went to work with Don. So where was the other child? This is where it gets very creepy and strange. But you also have to remember that's commentary coming from Candace, and you can't believe anything that this woman says. Female, rather. Nothing that's come out of her mouth has been the truth, period. So I will play you 4 different videos. Please go to my community board to get the said information. And this is my late morning dive into what I believe was orchestrated and planned, and the proof is in the pudding that Sheriff Lawson and the teams went back to the Beach Creek area a few weeks ago to search for the remains of Summer Wells. He says it in this audio that they were looking for evidence. And as I said, I don't know if he meant to say that, but he said it, and I'm glad I found it. Because so far I haven't heard of anybody finding it or saying it. Well, I've got the clip of him saying it to the local news here in my area, WATE News. And also, church video is in this other audio of Summer at church 1 month before going missing. And as I said, if you didn't know any better, you would think that was a boy child sitting up front in the church. And also I found the video where Candace is talking to someone in the front seat. The infamous video of worried about if her hand was up or down. And that's not a video of somebody in the wintertime, because you can see the foliage outside of the car is in full bloom. So that's summertime. And she's also wearing summer clothes, tank top and shorts. So it's a summer video. Not winter, not fall. Hell, I don't even believe spring. Here we go. The first video is by WATE News, uploaded 3 weeks ago. My first source.
Were you recently injured in a car accident?
Oops, sorry about that. Thanks for joining me.
After an Amber Alert was issued for Hawkins County 5-year-old Summer Wells, teams were back in the Beach Creek community to resume search efforts. It is the first time there's been an on-the-ground search in the region in months. As you remember, Summer was reported missing by her family the evening of June 15th. The TBI issued an Amber Alert the very next day. As you may remember, emergency personnel from at least 6 states spent weeks scouring the area near her family's home. No sign of that little girl. Reporter Bianca Moraes joins us now live from the Beach Creek community to give us an update on why law enforcement agencies were back in that area today. Bianca.
Well, we're told law enforcement actually planned this search months ago when they were here last to see if they had missed anything. Crews from about a dozen agencies returned to Beach Creek to launch their second full-scale official search of the area immediately surrounding the Wells home on Ben Hill Road.
We want to wait until this time of year after the frost and that the leaves are off the trees, we can see better and do a more detailed search, hopefully to find some kind of evidence that would help us find Summer.
That is Sheriff Lawson speaking. That they were waiting for the foliage to change and hope that they could find some type of evidence. So you were there looking for evidence, because you wouldn't have said that if that's... Do you understand what I'm saying? So I do believe that is why you all were back there. There was a reason for you being back in that area, because you made it clear that months ago you would only go search wherever if you had a reason to go search. So now you're saying in this audio that you were back there searching for some type of evidence. And I do believe there's a reason why you went back there. Something's come back from TBI, FBI, something for you to go back there. Because you have to think about how vast the land is in the state of Tennessee or anywhere. And why that area. Because you have to think about how vast the land is. A person could be anywhere. Especially months later. Naturally, they're not going to be whole. So, what made you go there? You had to have had a reason to go there, Sheriff Lawson. You went back to an area that you already searched when the foliage was heavy in the summer months. and naturally leaves are off the trees, and you went back to that area for some reason. Why did you go back there? Just curious. I will play it again so people can hear.
On Ben Hill Road.
We want to wait until this time of year after the frost and that the leaves are off the trees, we can see better and do a more detailed search, hopefully to find some kind of evidence that would help us find Summer.
Local, state, and federal resources were again utilized in today's search. Sheriff Lawson saying they used aircraft, drones, search dogs, and ground crews to search every area. They may have missed something when the vegetation was too thick in the summer. I'm told the TBI has recently received roughly 1,500 tips in the search for Summer. Authorities ask anyone living in the Beach Creek area to continue to search their properties and go over trail camera footage in case any evidence of Summer's whereabouts surfaces. Now, crews are wrapping up the search for today as the sun sets, and we have no idea whether they will be returning tomorrow. Live in Beach Creek, WATE 6 on your side. I'm
going to go back and replay that again so you can hear all of what was done that day and the people involved and what they did on that day to search for Summer Wells 6 months later. This is a 2-minute, 31-second video. Thank you. Because I want you to hear all this again.
See better and do a more detailed search, hopefully to find some kind of evidence that would help us find Summer.
Local, state, and federal resources were again utilized in today's search. Sheriff Lawson saying they used aircraft, drones, search dogs, and ground crews to search every area. They may have missed something when the vegetation was too thick in the summer. I'm told the team.
So, drones, aircrafts, and other search members to go into an area they had already been, but due to the foliage being heavy, they went back. So there's a reason they went back. And as I said in this audio, you will hear him say some type of evidence is why they went back. So once again, why did you go back to that area specifically? A 2-day search. And of course, you all know they have not been back to search again in the general area or anywhere that has been released to the public.
TBI has recently received roughly 1,500 tips in the search for Summer. Authorities ask anyone living in the Beach Creek area to continue to search their properties and go over trail camera footage in case any evidence of Summer's whereabouts surfaces. Now, crews are wrapping up the search for today as the sun sets, and we have no idea whether they will be returning tomorrow. Live in Beach Creek, WATE 6 on your side, I'm Bianca Marie.
Bianca, thank you so much. They're working so hard out there trying to find this little girl. And want to let you know the Amber Alert for 5-year-old Summer Wells does remain active. The TBI continues to ask for any credible tips to be phoned in right away at 1-800-TBI-FIND. We'll keep you updated on the search.
Okay, everybody. That is WATE News. That's my first source pertaining to Summer Wells. And what I believe Sheriff Lawson's admitting that that's why they were there was to find some type of evidence for this said child. And I always thought that anyway. When they went there, searched for only 2 days, stopped the search, and now it's weeks later. They give us an update that they believe foul play can be put on the table in the disappearance of Summer Wells. First source, WATE. Second source is a 31-second clip. This is WBIR Channel 10 News.
Continuing its search for 5-year-old Summer Wells. Summer was first reported missing out of Hawkins County back in June. Today, the TBI led a search, and its agents and Hawkins County deputies, they have scoured the Beach Creek area before, but they returned to the location today now that the seasons have changed and the landscape is more visible. The TBI says there are no updates in the investigation. If you know anything about Summer's disappearance, you are asked to call the TBI.
As a new
Okay, in that said commentary, you will see the men on the ground searching. And of course, naturally, it's not as heavy as it was at the time. And as I said, vast land. Why there? Why did they go back to that? You can go onto my community page and see a brief clip of the area where the men were searching on the ground. And as I said, it's telling that they went back to the same place, because you have to think of searching anywhere that's wooded, whether it's summer, fall, winter, whatever, it's still a lot of land to cover. There is a reason they went back to that area to search. WBIR Channel 10 News is source number 2. Source number 3 is pertaining to Summer Wells, and this was uploaded 5 months ago in the beginning of this harrowing story of a child missing out of Rogersville, Tennessee. It's by WJHL. It shows Summer Wells in church. And you can go to my community page to get the said video. As I said in that video, she's wearing a navy plaid shirt and pink shorts, short hair, looking like a boy. When you first go into the video, if you didn't know anything about this storyline, or you were watching the church video, you would not know that that is a girl in the video. What I'm doing in these said audio clips, video clips, is to show you that this crime was orchestrated to the disappearance of Summer Wells. We now have the sheriff saying in a video that they were looking for evidence, some type of evidence. So that leads me to believe that's why they exacted the search 3 weeks ago. This church video showing the child with short hair, plaid shirt. She's looking like a boy. They're saying this content was uploaded to the church 1 month before she disappeared. So that leads me to ask, when was the last time she was in church? This 1 month before? Has she been to church days before? Because you're just coming out of the weekend when the child went missing. So why is it that this is the only video you have of her 1 month before? Why hadn't she been to church? Is there a reason she hadn't been to church? And then the last video, you will hear Candy talking to whomever's in the front seat of the car. It is believed to be Grandis, about the child's arm being up. And this person is filming the child in the back seat of the car. And as I said, I'm playing that conversation for one reason and one reason only. One person or so said possibly the video is old. So if we're going to say it's old, then why is Candy sitting in the front seat with shorts and a tank top on? And the child is in black pants and a zipped up jacket, leaning against Milk. So you want me to believe when it was cold a few months before then, March or so, the mother was in shorts and tank top, driving? She couldn't have been. Because when you see her driving by on the road, she's passing trees in full bloom. So it's summertime, not spring. And of course, we know trees do come into bloom into spring. But I believe the video was possibly recent. And Allie says that picture video looks like how Summer looked to her when she walked over to the vehicle on June 15th. And you can go to my community board to watch the said video, and you come to your own conclusions. But I'm playing this audio for a reason, that I do believe that the crime was orchestrated and done deliberately to discard this child for whatever reason. And they returned 6 months later to the Beach Creek community near their home because they have reason to believe that this child was discarded near their house. And I have the audio where Sheriff Lawson is saying, we are searching this area for some type of evidence. And they use drones, aircrafts, people on the ground, and I believe dogs on the ground. So you wouldn't be doing all this 2 days for nothing. Thank you for joining me. WJHL is my third source.
Subject of a statewide Amber Alert. Tonight we have new video of the 5-year-old. Take a look at Summer at Kingsport Seventh-day Adventist Church. The congregation, her church, her family attended. The church released this video taken sometime around Easter. That's her sitting in the front row there. TBI said that they have received nearly 400 tips, still no solid leads.
Okay, so now they're saying that was Easter. So that would have been April. So May, June. So 2 months beforehand. First they somebody said a month before. Now 2 months. Okay, so that's even worse. If I'm to believe that this was taken around Easter, this video, then you mean to tell me she hadn't been to church in 2 months? Why? Because I thought they said a month. So now it's saying Easter. And everybody knows Easter is in the month of April. So you mean to tell me she had not been to church since Easter? Hair still short in the video, the plaid shirt, pink pants. Why? Why hadn't she been to church? Why hadn't the parents taken her to church? So you mean to tell me we don't have any videos of Summer Wells at least a week before June 15th? No videos. No TikTok videos. No pictures of her on Facebook. I'm just curious. Are there any videos, pictures of the child before June 15th? To show her state, how she was looking, sounding. But the church situation kind of bothered me when I assumed it was a 1 month. Now this audio, playing it all the way through, says around Easter. So what is the truth? When was the last time the child attended church? Very interesting information. As I said, you can feel free to go to my community board to get the said videos and watch for yourself to build a timeline pertaining to the case. Well, why would Allie be with her and they don't speak and they don't talk? Just curious. WJHL is my next source. This is the words from Miss Earhart pertaining to the oddity in this case and not having any information shortly after the child was reported missing. If you need verification, WJHL is the source. Thank you for joining me.
Breaking news at 6, day 9 in the search for 5-year-old Summer Wells, and investigators say they are heartbroken and extremely frustrated as the case is taking longer than usual to resolve. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Sarah Diamond.
I'm Josh Smith. Take a look at some new photos of Summer Wells that we obtained today. Summer's mother shared these with us. In a news briefing late this afternoon, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says the search for Summer is, quote, definitely outside the norm when it comes to the standard amount of time for a missing persons case like this.
Typically, in an investigation like this one, we have some idea of where the case is headed and what might have happened within a few days. In this situation, despite doing everything within our power and exploring all avenues, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance remain unclear.
News Channel 11's John Janko is at today's news briefing. John, are investigators hopeful at this point that they will find Summer?
Sarah and Josh, while search teams and investigators are physically and mentally exhausted, I can tell you that they all remain hopeful. Leslie, at this point in the search and investigation, do you believe Summer Wells is still alive?
We hope so, but honestly, we just don't know. I mean, we're holding out hope, doing everything we can. Obviously, we typically would have found a child at this stage in the investigation, so honestly, we just don't know.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson again made a plea to those who live in Beach Creek, Sullivan, and Hawkins counties to check and recheck their security or trail cam footage. In the desperate search for Summer Wells, he also had another request.
So if the general public that lives in this area will go back and search their outbuildings, their barns, their hay fields, that's mowing season, so when they mow, they need to pay attention. And if you have a resident that cannot search their property themselves, they'll call my office at 423-272-4848. I will send an officer to your residence to search your property for you.
106 agencies are participating in the search for Summer Wells. You're looking at new video the TBI released this afternoon of crews conducting line searches in the Beach Creek area near where Summer was last seen. The TBI says the purpose of these searches is to ensure every inch of ground has been covered. They've covered about 4.6 square miles of terrain so far. That's about 3,000 acres. Captain Tim Coop of the Church Hill Rescue Squad says they've covered multiple ground multiple times. He said different eyes in different search teams may discover something someone else didn't notice. Live in the Beach Creek community, John Jenko, News Channel 11.
John, thank you very much.
Okay, that's WJHL. That was Ms. Earhart speaking. That usually in a couple of days, they get some type of information pertaining to the disappearance of a child. So obviously, I'm okay. I couldn't rest because something was on my mind. And when I can't rest, I have to finish whatever it is I need to do so I can be at peace. There's a reason why the woman said what she said. She obviously knows what she's saying. This was day 9. Odd that there was nothing pertaining to the child, no evidence. I'm playing you all this information for a reason. All the different clips. No information, no evidence. The church uploading content that the child had last video was what? Easter, which is strange. 2 months before she goes missing. She hadn't been to church in 2 months. I thought it was 1 month. Now they say 2 months. So why not? Then we have Sheriff Lawson. I find content 3 weeks ago uploaded that he says we were there looking for some type of evidence in the search. I played it. Feel free to go back to the beginning of this video. I play it 2 times so you can hear. It is Sheriff Lawson speaking. This is why I do believe this was an orchestrated crime to get rid of this child for whatever reason. Because I was not expecting to hear that out of his mouth. And now we have foul play being mentioned in the last commentary a couple of days ago by the sheriff. Because they have a reason for why they went there searching a couple of weeks ago. Something sent them there. What it is, I don't know. They haven't released that information to the public because this is an open investigation still. But I do believe they went to that area to search for the child again because they do have some information that possibly her remains could be found in that area. Tennessee is vast. When it's in full bloom, of course, it would be very hard to see anything. And you would have to go foot to foot, toe to toe, hip to hip, looking for a person. And I'm playing you this information to show you that I do believe that this was an orchestrated crime to get rid of this child. And they went to that place to search weeks ago because they have information that Summer Wells is back there. And then I also played the commentary from the church of her being in church, flannel shirt on, pink pants, looking like a boy in church. As I said, if it was your first time watching the story, seeing the video, you would know that was a girl sitting in church. And why hadn't she been to church? And is there any video footage of her running, walking, playing a couple days or so before June 15th? Some say she's at a garage sales. Hey, like I said, bring me a receipt. Why 2 months ago? 2 months before her missing. So that's Easter, they said, in this video, WJHL, of her last being seen. I'm not talking about the church. I'm talking about orchestrated by her parents, not the church. I'm trying to see what video is this. Okay, my last commentary is going to be the mother driving the car with her in the back seat, and the video was filmed of her being in the back seat. Well, I don't think the church was involved. That's my personal opinion. I was searching for this video originally. That's why I'm still up. Because somebody in the chat was saying possibly the video was old. It wasn't that day. Blah, blah, blah. So as I said, you're entitled to believe what you want. But Allie has attested that the child leaning up against the milk is factual because that's how she looked to her when she approached the car. So like I said, you're entitled to believe what you want. So I went looking for the video and found it on someone else's channel. And I only went to look for the video to prove it wasn't winter when the little girl was sitting in the back seat with the jacket zipped up and the pants. Candy is sitting in the front seat with a dark colored tank top on and shorts. So that proves to me that it was late spring or summer when that was filmed. Because why would she be in shorts and a tank top with no jacket on herself driving the car? 2, you see full bloom trees in the background and on the side as she's driving down the road. So we know it couldn't have been fall or any other time because 1, the child's hair is cut short to the head. And as I said, the trees are in full bloom. 3, the mother's in shorts and a tank top. So it was taken around the time their hair was cut short. Yes, it's very creepy, the video, all of that. But I'm going to play her talking. Feel free to go to my post, and then you can see all the videos yourself, and you can dissect it how you see fit. But I only am uploading this content to show that the mother had on summertime clothes in the car. So why would the child be in a long sleeve jacket and pants, and the jacket is zipped up to the neck, which is odd if the mother did not have air conditioning on and the windows down? Then why would you have your child dressed like that in the car? And then H said the child came to the house in shorts. If we are to believe that's the same day, that TikTok video. The mother's dressed in summer clothes. The daughter's dressed like it's spring or fall. And allegedly she likes her windows down for fresh air. So why would the child be leaned up against milk on a summer day with windows down, allegedly? That makes no sense. Makes no sense at all.
I'm just going to share it again now with you, just so you can hear the sound again. Here it is.
Still got her arm off? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. Still got her arm off? No. She still got her arm off? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to catch.
Black tank top and like pink or red shorts Candace has on. So it's summer months. It's warm weather. So why would you have on a tank top, no brassiere, and shorts driving, and your daughter has on a zipped up long sleeve jacket and black pants? And everybody knows black will be deemed hot to some people in a warm month. Now, some people recommend wearing dark color clothes in the summer to combat the heat. You're entitled to your opinion. I played this audio and these other videos to show you a deliberate plan to get rid of the child. That's it. TBI spokeswoman telling you day 9 that the case was odd not to have any information. I also play you information about the child in church 2 months before missing. Why hadn't she been to church? Why is she looking like a boy in church with a plaid shirt and pink pants on? Where are the footages of her walking, running around before June 15th? So what am I to believe? She hadn't been to church in 2 months? I thought it was possibly a month. This audio that I play says The church believes that footage was taken around Easter, where everybody knows Easter's in April. Also, let you hear of the 2 searches that was taking place a few weeks ago. And in one of those videos, Sheriff Lawson says out of his own mouth that they were looking for some type of evidence to where they could find her. And that is the first time I have ever heard by a news outlet or article that they were looking for some type of evidence. And that's out of his own mouth. And that's why I hadn't went to bed yet, because I was looking for the video of them driving in the car with her in the back seat up against the milk jugs. And then I stumbled across Sheriff Lawson speaking about the search. If you want verification for anything that I've played, it's in the YouTube queue and on my community page. I've done my job. I don't need to search for anything else. I don't need to see anything else. I don't need to hear anything else. Nothing. The fact that Lawson says we were looking for some type of evidence. The fact that the video of the child in the back seat with the warmer clothes on and the mother dressed in summertime clothes tells me everything I need to know. This was an orchestrated crime, planned crime to get rid of Summer Wells. The grandmother knows something. The father, Don Wells, knows something. He knows something as well. If I'm to believe, that's Grandis sitting in the front seat filming this video. Grandis, you are guilty as well. And you have knowledge. And the fact that you have a child missing and you will be involved in your own grandchild's disappearance, knowledge thereof, however, you're sick and you're just as diabolical as the mother and the father. I believe all 3 are complicit. How it all went down, who did what, I'm not sure. But I do believe they're all complicit. And I do believe the search was to find the remains of Summer Wells 3 weeks ago. And then there's the audio of the child not being in church for at least, 2 months. Because obviously they filmed their services. So what am I to believe? After April, they stopped filming their Sabbath services. It's ridiculous. If you want to donate to the channel, $Beganju129 Cash App. Thank you all for joining me. This was a short live just to show you that there's something off with these people. There's something sinister with these people. They orchestrated to get rid of this child for whatever reason. The motive to me does not matter. I don't really care about an accident. I don't care about any of that, because in the end, if there was an accident, the humane thing to do would be to call 911, call an ambulance, and say something happened to the child. And that's just how I feel about that situation. To me, that's not even anything really worth discussing, because only a sick person would cover up a crime if it was an accident and bury a child or whatever. I just believe it was orchestrated. I believe the whole day was orchestrated with H, debating him, the conversations of the water park. And once again, that makes no sense to go to a water park later in the evening, allegedly, but you take your child to a dirty swimming hole in the daytime hours. And the fact that she kept mentioning the water park to allegedly Allie, to H, that's what the outfit was for. But yet the girl goes missing instead of going to a water park that closes at 6 p.m. I've done my homework. This was orchestrated. Thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Hanukkah. Feliz Navidad. God bless all of you. Stay safe. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.